Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies, rising as well as Venus. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for August. I still can't believe I'm saying that. For August 2026. It is a general collective reading, so as the messages come through, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. Also, keep in mind this is predictive in nature. And please be sure to check out your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart, and in the comment section is information on how you can join us over on Patreon for some additional bonus content. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon babies, Rising, as well as Venus. What does Scorpio need to know for August 2026? What do they need to know for the month of August? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Okay. In the heart of your spread, the card that jumped out is the Moon. In the top row, we have the Hermit, the Ten of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. Flanking the Moon is the Death card, the Eight of Swords, and in the bottom row is the Three of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. Sneak peek now into September. Knight of Wands, the World card, and the Ace of Swords, and that leaves the Knight of Cups here. Feel a lot of emotional healing in the month of August for you. Okay, let's see where we go with this message. I'm using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images are different. The change of images does alter or change the meaning of the cards, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. So this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies. If you're new to the channel, you wonder why I say Moon babies, it's because I'm a Scorpio Moon. It's just a way for me to connect with part of the collective. I'm not making your reading about me. But anyway, for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for August 2026, we are clarifying the Hermit, Ten of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. I just saw the Four of Wands. Queen of Pentacles, the Death card, the Moon, Eight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Two of Cups for the Scorpio collective for August 2026. One more shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. The Hermit is clarified by the Empress. The Ten of Swords is clarified by the Page of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Page of Wands. The Death card is clarified by the Hierophant. The Moon is clarified by the Two of Wands. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Fool. The Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Queen of Cups. That's you, whether you're masculine or feminine. The Sun is clarified by the Ten of Cups. And the Two of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Wands. Sneak peek again now into September. Knight of Wands shows itself again in both decks. The Nine of Cups and the Seven of Cups. And that leaves the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, your overall energy for the month of August is the Moon to the Two of Wands. You're at a crossroads. There's a particular decision here that you need to make in your life. What that decision is, we don't quite know yet. I'll find out more when I clarify. But the overall energy here is I need to make a decision, and I'm not quite sure what decision to make. It's an emotional decision. It does concern matters of the heart. It will affect you, emotionally speaking. There's also something here about you're not sure if you have all the facts or all the details in order to make a wise decision or the best decision for yourself. So there's heavy contemplation here, Hermit to the Empress, about whether or not you want to move forward, you know, and in what direction you're moving forward in. There's communication here between you and another individual. You're trying to acquire data. You end up realizing you have to do what is in your own best interest, and whatever's been plaguing you or delaying you from making the decision, I see that going away and you making the decision with the Fool card. So you are moving in a direction. You're kind of going from being stuck. I can go A or B, and you're sort of stuck in that Y point. And this is all very processy here, and lots of discussions, lots of inner contemplation, and then deciding to do what is best for you and moving in that direction. And you're starting to build in that direction. And again, there's someone else here in your energy with the Two of Cups, and this person shows up again in September. It could be professional, platonic, or romantic. I do not look at the Two of Cups as a romantic partnership. So let's see where we go with this reading. Let's clarify the Moon. I see like the actual like you making the decision in August, but then like you moving forward with that World card to the Ace of Swords. It's like definitively moving forward in September. And we'll clarify September also for you. Right now, let's clarify that moon for Scorpio for the month of October. Okay, now I'm going to have to pull 3 cards at the end for October. For the month of August, clarify the moon. So October here is important as well. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The moon is clarified by the 3 of Cups, the Star, and there's that 2 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Wands. It's like I want to make the decision that is best for my overall happiness. I want to make the best decision that'll get me closer to my wish fulfillment. I just don't know what the heck that decision is. Like, I don't know what to do. Clarify the 2 of Wands here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The 2 of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. We see that Queen of Pentacles here again. The Ace of Pentacles and the Emperor. Bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. So it looks like you get the realization that you need, the clarity that you need. The Tower, the 3 of Pentacles, that's what you start building on, working on down here. So whatever the decision is for you, and I'm going to try to get a little bit more insight for you here, you do decide to move forward in a particular direction. For me, queens exist in the present. They process the present, and kings take action. With the 2 Queen of Pentacles here in your energy, I know you're a water sign, but this has to be in regards to your structure or your stability, house and home. It could be long-term committed partnership. For others of you, it's how you make money, like launching a business, expanding a business, changing jobs. Okay, so it's in regards to your security. Okay, whether that's financial or emotional. That's why you're stuck here. That's why you want to make the best decision for yourself. You don't want to screw this up. But again, queens exist in the present, process the past, kings take action. And I have you here in Emperor energy then taking action. So whatever this decision is, you're resolute, Tower to that Ace of Pentacles. Okay, now I know what I'm going to do, and I'm full force going after it. What is it? Hermit. Clarify the Hermit. What is the decision here that Scorpio is trying to make in the month of August? One more shuffle. Thank you. What is this decision? 3 of Swords. I told you, matters of the heart. 6 of Cups. And the Emperor. Again, bottom of the deck, the Hangman. You are trying to make a decision in regards to either a soulmate in your life that you've had some emotional wounding with, okay? And this could be a friend, family member, lover. Hell, it could be your boss. I don't know. But you have been emotionally affected. I knew that. I felt that with that Moon card. And you're not sure if you want to continue the connection, revisit the connection. So to put it simply in context of work, this is a manager or a supervisor or a boss or higher up. The 2 of you butt heads a lot, and it leaves you wounded. And you're not sure if you want to stay at the job or leave. It could be a romantic partnership. You don't know if you want to stay or leave. Same thing with a friendship. If you're the emperor of your empire, like you are, you know, your own boss here, right? Maybe you own your own company. You don't know if you want to keep the business model that you have or if you want to change it up. So that 6 of Cups could be an individual, professional, platonic, or romantic that you're trying to make a decision on, or it could be work in terms of what you do for a living, whether you are self-employed or not, but you've been doing it for a long time or you've been doing it that way a long time. So this is, again, I knew that had something to do with stability, either financial or emotional. That's why you're so invested in this decision, if I could get the word out of my mouth. That's why you're so invested. The Empress. Tell me more about the process here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Empress is clarified by justice. You want to do what is fair and balanced for yourself. The Chariot and the 5 of Swords. And you don't, Ace of Cups. You don't want to screw this up for yourself. You don't want to make the wrong decision when it comes to staying in a connection, professional, platonic, or romantic, or like I said, like finding a new job or expanding maybe your current business model. You don't want to make any mistakes. You're being very careful with this. And you're giving contemplation to walking away from this situation, environment, or connection. Or like I said, if you're a business owner, changing it up. Tell me about that 10 of Swords. Tell me about that Ten of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ten of Swords is clarified by Ten of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Fool. There you go. There's a feeling here of this should not be that hard. Whether it's, you know, you work for yourself or you work for someone else. Or if we're talking about a friendship or a familial connection or a romantic partnership, there's a feeling here of it should not be this hard. It should not be this hard to give and receive. It should not be this, like, it should not have this much drama. It should not cause me this much wounding. And if we're talking in terms of money, like, again, whether you're self-employed or employed by someone else, this is a feeling of it should not be so difficult to make money, or it should not be so difficult to run this business or launch this business. I don't mean this in a negative way. You are looking for easy. And again, it's not because like you're lazy or something. It's you have gone through a very difficult experience. It's clear as day. And you're very emotional about this, and you're like, I just want easy. I want to be able to make a decent living. I want some decent connections in my life. You're looking for easy. You're looking for joy to be restored. And that's why this decision is so difficult for you. You don't want to add to the wounding you have already experienced with whatever or whomever this is by making a bad decision, either to leave it or to stay in it. Clarify the Page of Swords here. And the feeling here is, for the month of August, sometimes I think it's just better to leave. I'm just energetically channeling you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Page of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Cups. The Two of Cups, there's that partnership. And the Death card. Bottom of the deck, the Four of Pentacles. So you are really grappling with this. Now, either you're arguing with you and your higher self about the business model or something you want to do for a living. And for others of you, you're not sure if you want to continue this, because the Eight of Cups in the After Tarot deck, the person is like returning to something like that they walked away from or someone else walked away from. And you just don't know. You're like, I need a little bit more information. I need to figure this out. Am I ending this once and for all? Because in the After Tarot deck, your card, the Death card, it is done and over with. And the Eight of Cups is a return. So you're not sure here what you want to do with the situation, environment, or connection. But you do end up making a decision. I'm curious to know what you make. And don't ever allow Tarot to tell you what to do. So I'm just going to tell you energetically what's here. And if you want to end up doing something, you know, contrary or the opposite, you're more than welcome to exercise that divine gift of free will. Clarify that Queen of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Maybe that'll give us some more insight here. Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and oh, look at that, Page of Wands to the Page of Wands, bottom of that King of Swords. So you end up talking. You're either, if you're like, you're self-employed, let's say, and it's just you. Maybe you're like me. You run the channel, whatever it is, the business, the soap making business, whatever it is. You do it all on your own. You know, there's a feeling here of you just like talking to someone else. It could be a friend, it's someone you trust. Maybe it's your partner. But if you are self-employed, you're talking to someone else saying, I am spending so much time running this business. I'm not making anywhere near the money I need to make. And I love the business. I don't want to give it up, but I got to find a way to streamline it. Maybe I have to go back to the beginning in that Eight of Cups and revisit it and like redo the business model. If you're working for someone else, you are having a conversation with that individual, that supervisor, that manager, that higher up. There's something here like, I don't really want to leave the company, but if things don't change, I'm going to have to leave the company. So you are having a conversation. If this is with a friend, family member, or a lover, even if by chance in the Eight of Cups it's someone from the past coming back around, you are still having a conversation with this person. And you're basically telling them what needs to change in order for you to stay or in order for you to return. Clarify that Page of Wands. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Lovers, the Page of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Eight of Swords. So this conversation that you're having with someone here is actually, it gets you out of the Eight of Swords, like kind of mental imprisonment that you've been in. You didn't know what to do. There's some clarity that comes to you as a result of this conversation. Again, you're talking to a friend about your business model, or you're talking to a higher up about what's going on at work. You are receiving clarity. You are receiving support. Okay? You are able to make a decision here about whether you stay or go from a very healed place. In the After Tarot deck, the heart is healed, or at least in the process of healing, right? The swords are out of the heart is bandaged. So this ends up being a very healing conversation for you. I hate to keep using that word, and I know in tarot that word is used a lot, overused at times, but it is a healing conversation. It's an eye-opening conversation, and it enables you to make a decision that you feel very confident in. Death card. This is you in your power. That is your major arcana card. You share that with no one else. It's just you. So clarify the death card, please. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The death card is clarified by the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Magician. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. So this is on the tails here of this conversation. So this seems to be, again, like if you're talking to someone about your business, that Six of Pentacles is like, I provide this product or service, and I want to make X amount of dollars. But how do I do that without working 16 hours a day? You know, so, and that Magician is mercurial energy as well. Again, that Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So there's a conversation here. And again, Virgo is healing. So it's a healing conversation you're having with someone. And if it's a higher up or a friend, family member, or lover, you're basically saying to them, I want to stay here. I do. Otherwise, I would have quit already, right? Because you know your value and worth. You showed up here in Empress and Emperor energy. So it's I know my worth. I know my value. If I wanted to leave, I would leave. I'm just hoping things would change. There has to be some more reciprocity, whether that's financial or emotional, in order for me to stay. Otherwise, I will seek out another blank, another friendship, or another job, or, you know, in time, another romantic partner. So I don't think you're like quite giving whoever this individual is like an ultimatum. You just seem to be like giving them your demands. That sounds a little weird, but yeah, you're basically saying this is what I need to stay in this, or this is what needs to change. Yeah, this is what needs to change in order for me to stay in this. Clarify the Hierophant. One more shuffle. Thank you. Because death to the Hierophant, that's death card is you. If you're a Scorpio sun sign, your opposite sign is Taurus, which is the Hierophant. So you're saying, you know, these are my beliefs. This is what I need. They're non-negotiable. They're non-negotiable terms and conditions, if you will. The Hierophant is clarified by the Seven of Swords, because I'm not going to keep making the same mistake. Knight of Swords, there's that conversation, and Queen of Wands. Because I've learned from my past interaction with you, again, Queens exist in the present, process the past, at least for me as a reader. And that Seven of Swords in the After Tarot deck is I don't want to make a mistake. So if I stay here, it has to be because something radically transforms. Death card to the Death card. If I'm going to continue this business, I have to radically transform how I'm doing it. So you're realizing something here in your life, the status quo no longer works. You're communicating that to someone else. And it's a very healing and a very freeing conversation, because then you know exactly what you're going to do. Clarify Eight of Swords to the Fool. One more shuffle. Thank you. Eight of Swords to the Fool. We go right back to that conversation with that Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the King of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Eight of Cups. So this is whoever you're talking to, okay? This person is telling you, I don't think you should give up on your business, okay? I don't think you should give up on your business. They could be offering you advice here, suggestions, support. How can I help you? They could be recommending things that you can do differently to streamline your business. Okay, if this is a boss or a friend or a family member, your business partner, it could be a lover. This is someone saying, I don't want to see you go. I don't want to see the connection end. So that maybe there's like an apology here, but I have a discussion here between two people. This is not your energy whatsoever. And there's either an apology or like an offer of support. It could be like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that the work environment was that intolerable for you. Let's have some conversations on how to improve that. And same thing with, it's a friend or a family member or a lover. There's a conversation here between you and this person. Wheel of Fortune. Now, yeah, this person's like, I don't want you to leave. 8 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, the Lovers. Yeah, I don't want you to leave. I know it's not easy. You know, I know it's been difficult. Let's find a way to fix this, or let's find a way to give you that 6 of Pentacles, you know, reciprocity or whatever it is that you're desiring. And if it's just a friend talking to you, like I said, about your business, they're giving you some ideas on how you can, you know, things you can learn or ways that they can help you. Clarify the Fool card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Fool is clarified by the 9 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands. Oh, 2 cards came out. Temperance and the 7 of Wands. So you move forward with this. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You move forward with this. But it's almost like you're giving yourself, it's like you're giving yourself like a time limit, I feel here. It's like, okay, I'm going to change up the business model, but I'm giving myself till Sagittarius season. And if I don't see the business, you know, changing or streamlining or improving, I'm going to have to reconsider then what I do with it. This is you telling the boss or the friend or the business partner or the family member or the lover, okay, I'll work on this relationship with you or this job situation with you. But if things don't change by the end of the year, I'm going to have to reconsider. So you're putting this person on notice. You're being very honest here. Number one, in communicating what it is that you're desiring or requiring. And then number two, basically saying, I'm going to give this a couple of months to see how this plays out. 3 of Pentacles to the Queen of Cups. I feel like that would be a redundant message here because, again, that's just you now working on the new or working to change the situation, environment, or connection to your liking. Clarify the Sun. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Sun is clarified by the 8 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. So you're continuing this situation, environment, connection, business plan, okay? You're continuing this, but you're also reserving the right to walk away. And I think it's because you gave yourself that time limit there of Sagittarius season. Clarify the 10 of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. 10 of Cups is clarified by 4 of Wands. That showed itself twice. There's that 3 of Pentacles again, and Judgment. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. You have detached yourself from the outcome here. So you're like, okay, let's see how it goes. I'll make some changes, or you make changes, whatever's transpiring here. And you're not banking that this will be a success, and you're not banking that this will be a failure. You're just like, time will tell. And you're going to allow this to play out. You are releasing control here on however this plays out, for good or for bad. So you're going to move forward with this person. They're either helping you with your business, 2 of Cups to that 10 of Wands, or you're staying in the situation, environment, or connection with the support and assistance of this individual. And you're holding the Ace of Wands. 9 Wands, the wounds, the disappointment are on the ground. And you're like, okay, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to try this a little bit more. September, there seems to be an uptick in energy here. I have the Knight of Wands card here twice. I have the World card, which is like this new now chapter here, because that's kind of what you're doing. You're sort of put whoever this is on notice, or maybe put yourself on notice if you're a business owner. So you're like turning the page now. And then we have the 9 of Cups to the 7 of Cups. In the After Tarot deck, we've got 7 cups here on the shelf. 6 of them are full, like the past, and you're holding the Ace of Cups. Or at least you're holding the contents of the Ace of Cups. Clarify this more for September. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, and there's that 10 of Cups, bottom of the deck, Judgment. You are feeling good about the progress in the business, the progress with the friendship, family connection, whatever this is, love or work, but you are keeping, you're very mindful of the fact that just because it feels good today doesn't mean it might feel good tomorrow. You're waiting for, okay, the business has gone well for a month, I've made some changes, but it's almost like you're bracing for it to go bad. Okay, they made some improvements at work. Okay, this friend, family member, or lover is more reciprocal, but you're waiting for them to fuck up. Ooh. damn it, I'm not on Patreon. I can't do that. They demonetize you now, like 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after you say a curse word, whatever. It's fine. There's something here like that I play, like you're waiting for the shoe to drop, or you're waiting for the good results to go sour. And it's probably because of whatever your experience here has been with it. I mean, that 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands doesn't look easy. So although it's going well, you're reserving the right to walk away. It's almost like you feel like this is too good. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, bottom of that King of Cups. You are reserving the right to walk away. The King of Cups is pouring out a cup. So for right now in September, whatever this is, you're starting to see results. In the After Tarot deck, the Knight of Pentacles is on the move. So you're starting to see some solid results. The 5 of Pentacles is not being in a state of lack in the After Tarot deck. This person's coming out of the facility with a big old bag of coin. So again, there's monetary increases or emotional increases, right? You don't feel financially or emotionally neglected. If it's your own business, you're seeing an uptick in sales. That Knight of Cups, you're feeling good. Okay, you're able to drink from your own cup, but you are still reserving judgment. Look at that. Judgment to justice to the Two of Swords. It's like jury's still out if this business model or plan keeps producing these results, or this person or situation or environment keeps moving as well as it's moving. Like you're reserving judgment here. So you're not like, oh yay, they changed things at work for a week and I guess I'm going to stay here until I retire. No, you're not doing that. So you're staying in whatever this is with some changes, with some modifications. You're saying what it is that you need or want. You have a collaborative energy here. Tell me more about the collaborative energy. Whether it's the friend, whether it's the individual helping you with this, if you're a sole proprietor, or if it's a friend, family member, lover, boss, whatever that you're talking to, and you're sort of telling them what you need to continue this or to revisit this. So tell me more about that person. One more shuffle here. Thank you. That person. 2 of Swords, Justice, and the Page of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, Temperance. There's that Temperance card. It's like you're giving this until Sagittarius season. It's like jury's still out. If this could be balanced, if this could be fair. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 3 of Cups. So this person could be a Libra, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the 2 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles, or a Sagittarius. And you're going to work on this. Virgo, Ace of Wands, there you go. You're going to work on this, but the jury's out. Look at that Hangman energy. The Tower, you are reserving the right at any time to change the business, shut down the business, quit the job, and end the connection. I don't think this has to do with housing, but even if it does, let's say you're talking to your landlord and they're like, yeah, we're going to make some improvements, and you see 1 or 2 improvements, but they have a list of 20 things to do. You're still reserving judgment that, hey, if this isn't done by the end of the year, I'm moving out of here. But who is this person? The energy of this person. They seem to be giving you whatever it is that you need, or giving you ideas to change your business. There's happiness here. There's joy. We're doing things differently. The 2 of Pentacles, the back is turned and we're moving into the future. The ship is coming in. So it takes you to that 3 of Pentacles. So there's collaboration, there's effort. The old way of doing the connection is being poured out. There's a new way. 3 of Cups are standing, and it's celebratory in nature. So this person seems to be helping you in some way. But again, you seem to be, you're reserving the option to walk away. Strength, Star card, and the 6 of, I'm sorry, I said 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is here. Strength, Star, and 3 of Wands. It's like time will tell. So let's get you 3 cards of advice. What I like about this is you are able to communicate your wants, needs, and desires from a healed place. You're not giving an ultimatum. You're saying, this is what I require, or this is what I need. Or like I said, if you're a business owner, you're going to someone and saying, these are the changes I would like to make, but I don't quite know how to do that. And you have someone here willing to help you, willing to either help you change things or work with you to change the type of connection that the 2 of you have. And I like it. I got to say, I like it. And it's calm and it's steady. For a Scorpio reading, that's big. I'm not saying your whole month will be peaceful and sunshine and rainbows. Like, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. But when it comes to this one dynamic, we'll call it, you seem to be very confident. And I think it's because you know your value and worth. So you're basically putting someone on notice very kindly from a healed place what you need. And they are reciprocating. Or like I said, helping you with your business. And I don't see anything negative here, I would tell you. I'm a Scorpio moon. I certainly would warn you. This seems like very calm, like okay. And time will tell if this works. 3 cards of advice here for, oh, I was going to pull, thank you for reminding me. I was going to pull 3 cards for you for October. I feel like I should use a different deck for you. I didn't cleanse those over there. Let's use these, okay? I know we have like half the deck on the table, but can I get 3 cards for October? Why did I slip and say October? What was the message of October? 3 cards, October. One more shuffle. Thank you. October, Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, 9 of Cups. You're still assessing. Remember, you were here, Queen of Wands, assessing this. Do I stay? Do I go? Having this conversation. Bottom of the deck, the Chariot. You're still assessing, okay? So I think what has changed here is you're not just falling for words or believing promises. You're staying vigilant and you're assessing, not like some scared child. You know, you're assessing from an adult, from a place of authority, from a place of maturity, and just making sure that who's ever on the other end of this, that they're keeping up their end of the bargain. You're protecting your peace. And you're doing it in a non-threatening, non-emotional, very grounded way. And it looks fucking sexy on you, whether you're masculine or feminine. So good for you. 3 more cards here. 1 more shuffle. Thank you. 9 of Wands. There's you and that person. Remember, you are kind of wounded from them. So in October, you're still cooperating, collaborating. 10 of Pentacles. Things are improving with the situation. Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like a monthly thing. I hate to say that. Page of Cups. It's almost like monthly. You're like, okay, like every month you do an assessment. Is the business still going, you know, according to plan? How's the friendship doing? How's that? And you're not talking to them about it. This is internal to you. It's all cups, you. And that queen, you're watching. You're watching to make sure everything is going according to plan, according to promises. Good for you. Good for you. And again, non-emotional way. Which is a change. I think I had said that we had a communication wound. When we felt injured, we were like, we'll burn your fucking house down. And look, as a Scorpio moon, I get it. I'm not making fun of you. But this is different. This is not, I'll burn your fucking house down. This is I don't know, I'll covertly put your house up for sale. I'm not going to burn it down. I'm kidding. But no, it's, in all honesty, it's nice. Because it's not wounded. Let's get you 3 cards of advice now. We'll do August, September, October for you, okay? For August. 1 more shuffle. Thank you. 9 of Wands. There you are. 7 of Cups. Those options and choices. And the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. So your advice here is to, again, not make any decisions from a wounded place. Make sure you do it from a healed place and hold yourself back until you have absolute clarity, which is what I see you doing. So sometimes what I see energetically, even in my own readings, but what we do physically doesn't always align, doesn't always match, because we have the divine gift of free will. So the energy here is available for you to do this, and the advice here is to sort of do it this way, like have the conversation from a very calm place, not from a wounded place, and don't make an absolute decision until you're clear. And the clarity is coming, so don't force this. Let's get 3 cards of advice now for September. 1 more shuffle. Thank you. Queen of Swords. Still keeping your eye on them. 3 of Pentacles. I told you, whatever you're working, collaborating on. And the Wheel of Fortune. Your advice here is to continue to do that assessment, that 3 of Swords. Continue to do the assessment. Continue to make sure that the business is going according to plan, or whatever changes this other person had to make in order for your relationship with them to thrive. Just continue the assessment. Don't get complacent. Okay, because you don't want to slip back and get hurt or injured again. And 3 cards, and it's almost like holding them like responsible, like accountable. you say you're going to do this, you're going to change the HR manual, or you're going to be a more dependable friend, or you're going to be the lover that reciprocates, then yeah, you're going to make sure that they're responsible. You're going to hold them accountable to their words. I like this a lot. It's very calm, believe it or not. Let's get 3 cards here for October. 3 cards of advice for October. And that 3 of Pentacles on this deck, on the side, it says profit. So it's almost like you're investing in whatever this is, right? Whether it's time, love, money, and you want to make sure that there is a return on your investment, that things are going according to plan. Bravo to you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. For October, 5 of Swords, Page of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles. So in October, there's a little bit of conflict. I don't think it's terrible because there's an autocorrect, there's an apology. So someone here does an oversight. You, them, something like that. Whoever's doing the oversight here, they come in very quick. They acknowledge it. So maybe it's you. Maybe you accuse them of something they're not doing or whatever. Or maybe they're just not doing something and you're calling them on it. But there's a course correction very quickly. 5 of Swords, Page of Cups, this is like, I'm sorry. And then 6 of Swords, we're moving forward again. And there's, again, there's a group of people here on the boat. That 3 people, sort of like that 3 of Pentacles. So when there's a little blip in October, we address it quickly. We don't allow it to, we don't allow it to we don't suppress it. You know what I mean? We don't allow it to bubble over. So this is the best energy I've seen you in for a long time, So yeah, if there's any kind of conflict or disagreement in October, you address it and it's auto-corrected very quickly. Like we're talking like within a day. Very, very quick turnaround there. Let's get you 3 cards here. And then we'll close it out with some kippers. 3 cards here for Scorpio. One more shuffle. Thank you. Circle of Care. Light of Life. And Vitality. Bottom of the deck, change. You've changed. And look at that 2 of Wands here. Right, the crossroad. Dare to change and embrace new possibilities. I think you're embracing the way you're asking for help or assistance or reciprocity. And again, you're doing it from a healed place. Circle of Care. Grow within the support of love and compassion, connecting to the strength of others. I told you, it's you and other people or another person coming together here. Light of Life. Embrace your unique glow, however small, to light the way ahead. And this is you saying, this is what I need to stay here, for this business to work, whatever it is. You get to hold the Ace of Wands. And you're saying what you need to continue holding that Ace of Wands, to continue to move forward. Vitality. Reignite your energy and embrace your new beginning with enthusiasm. It's a new way of communicating. It's a new way of addressing your needs. And you're staying vigilant, not hyper vigilant. You're not emotionally dysregulated. You're just holding people accountable in a very mature way. And I'm telling you, it's not something I've seen a lot of in your energy, because you have been very emotionally dysregulated by all the shit you've been through in your life. So this seems to be a very healed Scorpio collective here. And I'm really proud of you for knowing your worth and your value. I think we've made some great strides here over the past couple of months. So honored to be part of this collective. Good for you. Let's good for us, right? Let's get 2 cards here for that top row. Okay. Occupation is on the side. Remember, I don't know if I want to work at this job or continue working with this company or these people. And the wealthy man came out in the card like, I don't know if it benefits me, right, to continue connecting with you or doing the business this way or working for you. 2 cards here for the center. We have main female. And we have expectation. So after this conversation, you now are expecting someone here to step up. Either the person who suggests, I was going to say recommends. The person who recommends stuff to you, like, oh, if you do this, I'll help you. You are expecting them now to help you. Whoever says that they're going to come through with that 6 of Pentacles and suddenly be reciprocal or change things to your liking, you are expecting them to do that. You're going to hold this person, you're going to hold them accountable. We have Lovers on the side. I told you the jury is out. courtship and the official person is on the side. So you're going to continue with this business partnership, friendship, romantic partnership, whatever this is for you, pathway, and time will tell if this works out for you or not. Let's get 2 cards here for September since we pulled cards on that. Bad health on the side and thoughts are in the reverse. Again, it's if I see anything, and again, I like the thoughts in reverse here because you're not incessantly thinking of it. You're not, this is not, you know, biting your nails or your cuticles. This is just, I'm staying vigilant. Every now and then, I kind of check in with myself, how I feel about it. And in September, you're like, okay, it's okay. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. And I'm also waiting for it to go to shit. I mean, I got to be honest with you. That's what's here energetically. And I like it. 2 cards here for October. We saw that blip there. And then the recovery. Adjudication and false person. Told you. So there's a blip, and then immediately a correction. And then we have high honor. You are holding yourself in high regard, in high honor, and that's why this changes. And you're not doing it from a place of being demanding or being a jerk or whatever, an a-hole or anything like that. You're doing it from a place of power, from a place of authority, in a very calm, cool, collected way. So congratulations. I think this is a turning point for you. Whether this ends up working out for you or not, the way you communicate your wants, needs, and desires radically changes. And you're going to notice that in August 2026. That is what I have for you. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, subscribe, hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.